So we must do two things, two great things together to encompass that enormous new view that lies before us, but to encompass it within the framework of science, to see it within the whole categorical framework of science, and to see that these two are not separate, but that they are wedded. The bigness of the idea, the newness of the idea, the greatness of it is one with the structure of science, the structure of being itself. Then, returning to the Bible text, you see that after all of that had taken place and Jesus had demonstrated the deductive method through the feeding of the 4,000 through the 7 loaves and 4 fishes, that he then asked his disciples, and now we come to really the breaking in of truth. Let me make that side remark or that preliminary remark that the impulsion of life now gives way to the factuality of truth, the Christ truth, and it is truth as soul. So you will hear now soul coming in, asking now about identity, as though to say, who am I? And this is what Jesus actually did ask of his disciples. Who am I? Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, well, some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremias, or one of the prophets. You hear how tenacious this tendency to go back to the old paradigm is, huh? Not to recognize what is right in front of your face. After all that he had been doing and showing forth, that they would say, well, folks say that you might be John the Baptist. So he says, do you know who I am now? And their answer is, they don't know. They don't know yet who he is. They don't understand who he is. He said, but whom say ye that I am? You know, well, other folks say that so-and-so. Well, what do you say? And only Simon Peter answered and said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. You see that correct identification, that true identification as the Christ truth, the Son of the living God. He's asking his disciples and this identity question, and you can see that only Peter gets it right. And Jesus says, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah. Well, he really makes it known when somebody gets it right, doesn't he? He really makes a point of saying, yes, this is the correct answer. Blessed art thou, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I will give thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Wow. He also says, I say unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And then that reference to giving the keys of the kingdom, really, what is it that opens the kingdom and unlocks it? It's the conscious understanding of the 7, the 4, and the 4. So to that conscious recognition that sees the Christ and recognizes it and knows the Christ, this is the consciousness that will receive from that consciousness the keys of the kingdom, the categories of being. And you know, somewhere in the textbook it says that none can pick the lock. You can't pick that lock. You have to have the key of David, don't you? The key of David. And she refers to that key of David before she presents the key to the Scriptures. She says the key to the Scriptures is this key of David. It is the 7 and the 4. They unlock everything. They unlock the kingdom of the 4, the dimensional 4. You have the 7 and the 4 again really shown to be at the heart of this question of the true calculus, the Christ calculus, that is going to resolve fully the mortal calculus. So the spirit sense of it comes out there where he says, "Blessed art thou." You see, the blessed state of recognizing the Christ idea for what it is. And flesh and blood doesn't reveal that. Only my Father, which is in heaven. So we receive the keys to the kingdom of heaven.